Videocast number 128, Distance Scouting. While most of my Scoutmaster Dave videocasts are evergreen, meaning if you view them today or a year from now, the general themes will endure. I'm hoping that when you view this video it will be woefully out of date, but as of right now, in March 2020, it is very much top of mind as in all in-person scouting activities have been suspended, at least in the New York metro area. Right now it's a difficult time for scouting, as most of the work we do is in person. That being said, here are 6 tips that can help scouting keep going during this time, at least virtually. The first is troop communications. Leadership is an important quality at this time. Scoutmasters and Cubmasters should be in regular communication with troop or packs. Think of it like a virtual Scoutmaster Minute. This puts a face on scouting. Scouting is a lot like any habitual activity, very much like going to the gym. If you go every day, you're more likely to go back every day. If you stop for a week for vacation, it's that much harder to get back in the flow of doing it. The danger here is that with a chunk of time out of the cycle of scouting, some scouts and leaders may decide to break from scouting, which could negatively impact your troop or pack. To combat this, keeping in contact with your scouts and the scouts' parents becomes essential. So send out weekly emails, or even more often. Twice weekly is probably a good sweet spot. A weekly Scoutmaster report and another as a reminder for tasks scouts can do to keep scouting going would probably do the trick and keep scouting alive during this time. Don't make the mistake that because you have no information, then you don't have anything to communicate. Leadership is not like that. You need to be a positive presence and drive forward. Number 2, virtual patrol meetings. As folks are stuck inside at this time, there are many interaction tools that allow scouts to communicate. Skype, Facebook, Google Hangouts, GoToMeeting, and Zoom all have free versions and allow scouts to interact at a distance with video conferencing. Video conferencing is much preferable than doing just text chat, as with text chat or emails you miss out on the visual cues and can have a real-time communication. I would encourage your patrols to have weekly patrol meetings at this time. Work on requirements together and get items virtually signed off to keep scouts involved and advancing. This is a great opportunity for your patrol leaders to push forward and lead, keeping all their scouts within the patrol engaged and be creative with keeping the patrol spirit alive. Tell them today. Do it today. The longer a time between interactions, the harder it becomes to break the bad habits. Who knows, after all of this is over, maybe they'll continue the trend of meeting weekly and advancing as a functioning patrol. Number 3, merit badge work. A lot of merit badge work is going on at this time. As you check the forums, it's become the go-to activity. And the rest of this tip should in no way diminish the thought of doing virtual merit badges. But the Guide to Advancement states the merit badge counselor does not have the authority to add or subtract from merit badge requirements, so be careful with doing merit badges virtually. Now, this does not mean a scout cannot hold a virtual campfire via Google Hangouts to fulfill the requirement of running a campfire for communication merit badge, or view a museum virtually for the art merit badge. You can get creative, but changing requirements is a no-no. While a lot of communication is going through email, it's still important to follow the traditional pattern of a scout getting approval to start a merit badge, the scoutmaster assigning a counselor, and then the scout making a phone call to discuss. I've seen a lot of merit badges being started via email, which really bypasses an important part of the merit badge process, that of interacting with an adult they might not know. I've been guilty of it myself during this time, but it does shortchange the scout. Meeting with a scout can be difficult now, but you can still meet over the phone or better still via video conference. And while some of the rules are relaxed, the scout should dress in uniform to meet if it's traditional in your council and with your particular badge. Remember, however, too deep leadership is still important, so have your spouse or their parent sit in on the conversation and clarify all your expectations in advance so everyone is covered and safe. Number 4, requirements presentations. Depending on the size of your troop will determine how you can accomplish big group presentations. A good one, though, is through Facebook with someone moderating the chat for questions. But having leaders and scout program patrols do presentations on scouting topics just like they do at normal meetings is a good way to also keep scouting going. This actually might be easier as there's no one talking in the peanut gallery when presenting, and it helps build all the skills we're trying to instill. As an added bonus, it gives the patrol who is the program patrol something to do at their patrol meetings. Number 5, virtual sign-off. A big part of scouting is working on and signing off on requirements. While doing the EDGE method might be challenging via conference call, you can still do a lot of work signing off virtually. For the actual mechanics of signing off, you can assign a code for each scout when signing off. For instance, of the 12 scouts that can sign off on a requirement in your troop, assign them a number from 01 to 12 and have the scout getting the item signed off to get the code from the scout and mark down CV-04 and then the date in the book. But like other requirements, remember, it's not a free-for-all for signing off. Sign-off is there for a reason, so the scout has learned the skill and retains it. So be careful and instruct your scouts on the expectations of virtual sign-off. For merit badge work, all the elements can be done electronically through Scoutbook. If the merit badge scout is outside of your unit, you'll need someone, usually the scoutmaster, to invite you to connect on Scoutbook. Number 6, online training. Our last point is a bit for your leaders. Now is a great time to go to my.scouting.org and catch up on all their online training. From YPT to hazardous weather, there's lots of online training options to take advantage of. Take what you like, leave the rest. As we say in Woodbadge, feedback is a gift. Leave yours below in the comments with all the hope we can learn together. I'm Scoutmaster Dave, and this was 6 Tips for Distance Scouting.